What's up, my rhythm gang? That's what I'm gonna be calling my subscribers from now, the rhythm gang. I read some of y'all's comments earlier today, and some people, or one person said, uh, Deku and Momo should be together, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna have Deku and, Toga together, and you know how they'll get together in the video. And a lot of people want a part 2, so here it is. And if I'm not as in your face as my other videos, is because I just recorded a 40-minute video and none of the audio was recorded, so I'm gonna have to restart. So please comment and subscribe if you want. So here you go. What if Deku was an immortal vampire? Part 2. So Deku takes the hero killer Stain back to his castle, and Ida finds the body in the alleyway, and he's shocked that another hero was killed by the hero killer Stain, even though it was Deku. So Ida takes the killed hero, to some pro heroes, and leaves them with the pro heroes and runs around the city to try to find the fucking hero killer Stain. So Deku is with Stain, and he gives Stain $1 million, and he says to Stain, "Okay, take this money, and you will go to America and start trying to become a hero." And Stain is like, "Why start in America? Why can't I start in Japan?" And Deku was like, "If you start here, people will people won't accept you because you're a well-known villain right now. So you will probably be charged with murder and probably sent to death. So it would be a bad idea if you stayed here in fucking Japan. So go to America, and with this $1 million, I want you to buy a house, set up a bank information, basically get everything you would need to be a registered citizen there. Then start becoming a hero. Then I will check on you every few months, alright?" And he would comply and said, "Alright." Then he heads to the air. Well, he doesn't head to the airport. Deku actually runs him over to America because he's not allowed to be on planes because he would be noticed and called the cops on, and pro heroes be called there. So that's why. So Deku comes back to Japan, and he doesn't go to school for like 2 weeks because the run over to Japan to America is really long. So it takes only like 1 day to run over there, and then it fucking takes another day back. For 2 days he's running places, and then he trains for the rest, so he's getting very powerful. But fucking Stain, Deku took Stain's laptop to see if he was in league with the villain league, and he's just on it looking through his messages, and he gets a message from Dustman, the K guy. I call him Dustman because I think it's cool. So he get a message from Dustman saying, "Yo, so me and the villain league, we're going to attack. We're gonna attack a field trip that's happening from UA." And Deku's like, "Oh, where's it gonna be and what time?" And they say it's gonna be at a forest, and it's gonna be at nighttime. And Deku's like, or he's acting like Stain, so he's like, I'll be there, no worries. And Dustman is like, alright, I'll see you then. So, fucking, Deku goes back to school, and everyone was like, yo, where you been? Where you been? Why haven't you been at school? He was like, oh, I had to deal with some family business. So, a few days go by, like normal school stuff. Then, Mr. Aizawa was like, alright, in a few days, we will be going on a field trip. So, everyone get prepared and stuff. And everyone's like all proud. Not all proud. They're all happy and shit. And so a few days go by. Everyone's just doing normal school stuff, and Momo is actually trying to get with Deku. She's like trying really hard. So Deku knows what she's trying to do, but he doesn't like Momo. So um so when it comes to the field trip day, he only has one bag. Everyone else has like a suitcase because Miss Arzawa said you're gonna be spending a few nights or a few days over there. So everyone gets on the bus and they're going, and Momo sits right next to Deku, and she's trying to talk to him, but he's not listening. And once they arrive at the cliff, he can sense the wild wild pussycats in a bush nearby. And when they come out, he's like, "Oh, so those are the people that are going to be training us." In his head, that's what he's thinking. So the Wild Wild Pussycats explain everything. They're like, "Okay, so you're gonna have to get to home base, which is like somewhere in the forest. You're gonna have to run through the forest and like survive all the challenges we throw at you, uh, so you could get. We're gonna throw challenges at you, so getting to home base won't be that easy. So you have something to do while you're going to your home base." Everyone's like, "Okay, it seems easy enough," and Deku's just ready just to run down over there, and Koda is just chilling there by himself, setting tables up and shit. And when Wild Wild Pussycat says, "Let's go," Deku disappears from everyone's sights and is at the uh, uh, fucking boot camp or whatever. And Koda just freaks out because he just appeared out of nowhere. And so fucking Koda comes up to Deku like, "Oh, yo, so, fucking, who are you and what are you trying to, er, who are you and what are you doing here?" And Deku's like, I'm a UA student and I'm going to become a hero." And Koda's like, "Oh, so you want to become a hero?" And Deku's like, not really. I'm just doing it for fame. I don't really care about money. I have a ton of money, and I'm already the most powerful person in the entire fucking planet. So it does say effing in front of the kid, but yeah. And Koda doesn't like the way he's talking to him, so he tries to kick Deku in the balls, and Deku catches his foot and's like, "If you try that again, you will regret it." So Koda is really freaked out about that, so he doesn't bother Deku. And everyone else gets there late, and he was just sleeping, and Wild Wild Pussycats were amazed how fast he got there. So he was just sleeping, and someone woke him up. I think it was Ida. And he's just chilling. He knows that they're not going to attack tonight. They're going to attack tomorrow night. And so fucking they all have dinner and go to bed. The next day, the Wild Wild Cats explain like, "Okay, you're here to train your quirk and to improve on it." And everyone's training their quirk and shit. and Deku's just chilling, sleeping. Or he's not really sleeping. He has a bat surrounding the area, like flying around, and he could see through the bat's eyes. So he's actually surveillancing the entire area, and fucking and one of the Wild Pussycats goes over to him and is like, you should train or you're not gonna improve at all. And he's like, I'm really the best one here. Why would I train? So fucking sorry guys. Um, so one of the Wild Pussycats is like, all right, since you think you're the best one here, let's put it to the tests. So he's like, all right, bet. So fucking Deku and one of the Wild Pussycats are about to like spar, and everyone's surrounding them like, wow, fucking Deku's about to get clapped up, and fucking she doesn't use her full power right away. She goes easy on him, but then realizes that she's doing no damage, or like she's not doing anything to him, not even a scratch. Then she starts using more and more power until she's full power, and she's out of breath. And then Deku's like, "Are you done yet?" And she's like, "No, not yet." Then she gives one last hit, and she is like out cold or not. She's not out cold. She's just like bent over, breathing really hard. And Deku is like, "Now it's my turn." And she's like, "Wait, what?" And then he kicks her straight in the stomach, like no, like fucking 50 feet in the air. And he teleports right above her and kicks her straight down. And then he breaks like 2 ribs, and he says, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to." And he gets scolded by Mr. Aizawa. And later that night, everyone's chilling and shit, and everyone's looking for Koda because he's not there. So he goes and finds Koda, then brings him back, and he is like, everyone's like asleep, and fucking he's just outside sleeping, not actually sleeping. This time he has like 6 bats surrounding the entire forest, and he's looking through all of them to see where the fuck is someone might come through. Then he sees a portal open in one of the bat's eyes. Then he fucking teleports straight to where it is, and he just waits for all the villains to come out. And fucking Mr. Muscular and Dabi are the first ones to be taken out by Deku because he feels like they would be the most troubling. So he takes those 2 out, and he takes out the Gas Kid because that Gas Kid, it can't kill him. It just slows him down a little, so he takes him out too. Then he takes Mr. Impresso twice. Takes everyone down. He even takes down Dustman, and fucking Kirigiri decides to retreat, and everyone starts running away. And he was like, a failed mission. But before Toga could get away, Deku grabs her and is like, "You're not going anywhere, miss." And they all retreat, and Toga is with him. And he runs all the way to his castle and puts her in a dungeon and like, "I'll be back tomorrow, don't move." And he runs back to the campsite, and he said he'll be back tomorrow, but in fact he wasn't back for an entire week because since nothing bad happened, the forced training arc still went on, like they still trained, and so they trained for like another 4 days. So in all they had like 6 days of training. Then everyone went back to school, and he came back, and he left school for like 1 week, and he said, "All right, Toka, all right." Well, he doesn't know her name yet. He's like, "What's your name?" And she was like, "Toka." And she was like, "What are you gonna do to me? Kill me?" And then he's like, "I'm not gonna kill you, but you know you shouldn't kill people." and she's like, I do whatever I want. And she's like really into Deku because he's like tall and like as good looking as this Deku right here. And she's really into that. And while Deku was sleeping one night, she somehow escapes herself and tries stealing blood from Deku. And Deku, he doesn't know what's like taking his blood, so he like, you know when you stretch and you like punch out, he does that and fucking sends her head flying across the fucking room, and he's like, oh shit, I just killed her. So then he puts her head back together by dropping some. Okay, his blood can heal like anything. If you take his blood and you're alive, it will heal any wound. Like if all your limbs got chopped off and you drank his blood, all your limbs would come back stronger than ever. But if you died and you drank his blood, you would become a vampire. So he heals her thing, her like where her head and her body got separated, heals that, and then gives her some of his blood and turns Toga into a vampire. She's like, all I remember was you punching me, then blackness. What do you do? And he's like, I turned you into a vampire. She's like, a vampire? What are you talking about? He's like, I'm immortal. I'm an immortal vampire that's been alive for over 500 years. And Toga's like, no way, you're lying. And he's like, it's true, and now I just turned you into a vampire. And she's like, no, I'm saying now I'm an immortal vampire, and and nothing could kill me. He's like, no, you're not. Only royal vampires cannot be injured. You are weak against a stake, against sunlight, and against silver. So you're not immortal. Um, Fucking yeah, and the only way you could go outside is with this certain ring. And he shows her a little tiny ring, and she's like, can I have it? And he's like, maybe, if you show good behavior in the time you're here. And she's like, alright, yes. So, he goes back to sleep, and she goes back to her cage. And then, he goes back to school, and everyone's like, yo, where you been? You were gone for like an entire week. He's like, yo, I had to deal with, I had to deal with someone, and so fucking, that entire encounter, like him defeating all those super high tier villains, Coda actually recorded the entire ordeal and uploaded it to the internet. And everyone's been seeing it but him. And every time he walks down the hallway, everyone's looking at him and kind of freaked out. And the principal gets his hands on the video and decides, okay, I'm gonna boost him up a few grades. So he gets boosted up to Mirio's grade, and he doesn't know why. He just thinks it's because how smart he is. So he's just inside of his new class saying hi to everyone. And some people don't know who he is, and other people's like, that's the guy from the video. Oh my god, oh my god. And Mirio is like, that was a really impressive feat you did at the forest training camp. And everyone, not everyone, he was like, what are you talking about? And they show him the video, and he's like, do you know who recorded that video? And they're like, yeah, it was some kid named Coda. And he was like, alright, thank you. So after the day ends, he goes back to the forest, and he finds Coda, and he kills Coda right in front of everyone, or right in front of the Wild Wild Pussycats. But he has like a mask on so no one sees him. And then he goes back to his castle and wakes up Toga and be like, okay, now that you've transformed into a vampire, I need to teach you how to hunt. So they got hunting to like a really run down part of Japan, and they see a little kid, and he's like, okay, kill that kid, then tell me how do you clean up the mess. So she drinks from the kid, and then she's thinking of what she could do to get rid of the body, and she just throws it in the dumpster, and he's like, no, that's not what you do. Then he picks up the kid and is like, okay, this is what you do. And he waves his hand over the kid's neck where Toga took a bite out of, and the wound is like gone. There's no wound. And she's like, how do you do that? And he'll be like, I'll teach you soon enough. And she was like, oh, cool. Okay, great. So he takes Toga back to his castle, and they're just chilling. And he gets a notification on Stain's laptop, and he's like, and Dustman was like, yo, where were you? You're supposed to be there at the fucking forest. And fucking Deku was like, yeah, I quit being a villain. I'm gonna become a hero. And he's like, what? What are you talking about? He's like, if you want to know where I'm at, I'm in Africa, training to become a hero. It's like, Africa? And then he sends Kitagiri to Africa to find him. But the thing is that he's not in Africa, he's in America. So he then breaks the laptop. Then, sorry for all the background noise, by the way. Then he goes over to America to see how Stain is doing. And Stain is like a C-rank hero now. And he just patrols like neighborhoods and stuff. And he has a few fans around the neighborhood. And Deku, he doesn't like go and talk to Stain. He's just watching from a distance. He's like, good, he's doing what I told him to do. So then he goes back to London, where his castle is. Then fucking, he says to Dakota, okay, so tomorrow I'll teach you how to make certain animals with your blood. And Toka's really happy and shit. But that'll be in tomorrow's part. And then we'll do other stuff in tomorrow's part too. So if you liked it, please like and subscribe. I don't actually care about subscribers. I just care about likes and mostly comments. Like, give me some suggestions of what I should do for tomorrow's part. And tell me if I should have Deku ship with Toga, because I kind of want it. Yeah, my Instagram is the one-eyed ghoul. My Snap is Rhythm Echo 420. And please leave a comment if I should do a Naruto what if soon, because I'm thinking of one. And there might only be 4 parts to this series, because I like to talk a lot, so yeah, there might only be 4 parts to the series. So see y'all in the next video, Rhythm Gang, and bye bye.